As the prospect of a permanent ceasefire looms over the battlefield, the geopolitical landscape of Eastern Europe and the emerging new map of Ukraine under Russian terms are gaining attention. Following years of intense combat, significant territorial gains, and strategic shifts, Russia is actively shaping its post-war footprint. The Kremlin's consolidation of control over southeastern Ukraine, coupled with new legislation redefining internal governance, signals a profound transformation in the region's geopolitical dynamics. Under the proposed ceasefire, Russia aims to retain control over several key Ukrainian regions, effectively redrawing the country's internationally recognized borders. As ceasefire discussions intensify, Russia is entrenching its hold on key Ukrainian regions that it considers strategically non-negotiable. These territories form the backbone of Putin's vision for a post-war Ukraine under Moscow's shadow. Crimea, annexed in 2014, vital for Russia's Black Sea naval power via Sevastopol, fully integrated into Russia. Donbas, industrial heartland and Russian-speaking base, deeply Russified and militarized. Southern Zaporizhia includes Melitopol and Berdyansk, controls key energy hubs and secures the land bridge to Crimea. Eastern Kherson holds the Dnipro's east bank, ensures water supply to Crimea and supports Russian logistics to the south. Toretsk region. Recent gains offer access to Ukrainian coal mines and pressure points towards Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. These zones collectively form Russia's strategic corridor, a mix of economic leverage, military depth, and ideological assertion, and are unlikely to be returned under any post-war agreement. Russia's post-war ceasefire strategy centers on solidifying a new geopolitical map that serves both military and ideological goals. At the heart of this approach is the creation of a strategic buffer zone designed to insulate Russian territory from NATO-aligned Ukraine. By controlling key southeastern regions, the Kremlin not only secures a physical barrier but also gains vital economic assets, including the Black Sea ports of Mariupol and Berdyansk and the industrial heartland of Donbas, rich in energy and manufacturing infrastructure. Russian forces conducted a series of missile and drone strikes against Ukraine on the night of May 22 to 23 and during the day on May 23rd. The Ukrainian Air Force reported that Russian forces launched an Iskander-M ballistic missile from Rostov Oblast and 175 Shahed and decoy drones from the directions of Kursk city. Kyiv was also targeted on May 24th. The Ukrainian Air Force reported that Ukrainian forces downed 91 drones over eastern, western, northern, southern and central Ukraine and that 59 drones were lost or suppressed by Ukrainian electronic warfare systems. While Putin has achieved some of his goals with the new territory gains, Western countries warn that this might not be the final chapter. The new borders could lead to a long-lasting military standoff. On the other hand, Ukraine is not backing down. President Zelensky insists that Ukraine must get back all its land and has called the votes held by Russia in occupied areas fake and illegal. The US and EU haven't officially accepted Russia's new borders, but they recently lifted some sanctions. This suggests they might be getting tired of the war and its economic impact. Some believe they may quietly accept Russia's new map over time, even if they don't say it out loud.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update.